I'm not sure if I'm going. Hey, welcome back to my podcast. Uh, I'm gonna get my announcer guy to do the announcement, and then we'll get moving.
I got you. So it must be Wednesday night. So it's the Wednesday night recap live on YouTube and Instagram. Now back to you, bro.
So, welcome back to my podcast, Transparent Conversations. This isn't a regular podcast. This is just a recap show. Regular podcasts are done on Friday night, live on YouTube and Instagram. Um, I did my first episode last week, and this is my second episode. No, it's not my second. Oh, this is my first recap show. So basically, the recap shows are for me to touch base with myself and to take a look back at the show, some of the things I said and some of the things I think I need to clarify. Um, so last week I did my reintroduction to the podcast and my audience and the people who like to look at this, and I think it went I think it went pretty bad. You know what I'm saying? I'm still got this little nervous thing going on. I'm not sure why. But I will work on it. And I think the more you do podcasts, the more you do things, the more comfortable you feel with it, the more comfortable that you are with it, um, and then it won't be an issue anymore. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to like do as many episodes as I can, do as many times of sitting in front of this camera with this mic, and then trying to make myself feel more comfortable, make it more natural. Sort of how I was when I got to the end of my last podcast. You know what I'm saying? So I'm working on that right now. I'm not elevated. I'm rolling full right now. So anyway, the last show, like I said, I think it was really bad. I don't think it was. I was very focused. I did have notes. I have no notes tonight. I don't need any notes. I'm doing this is just a recap show. So I'm gonna talk about that. So I'm definitely gonna work on nailing down my notes, nailing down my outline, and nailing down my segments. It was very bad. I didn't. I had it all written down. I looked at it very rarely, and I missed a lot of points that I wanted to make. So I hope to improve that next week. I also need to improve how I look at the camera because I don't think I look at the camera at all. So that's something I'm gonna work on too. So I think tonight I just want to talk about like the whole vision of what I'm trying to do. That I go totally out and bring it into this one little podcast. So you may have seen like if you follow me at all, you may have seen me post some things like DMV Podcaster Studios. That is my goal. I want to build out and start running a podcast studio, just podcasts, maybe some streaming too. But that's the overall plan. And then I also want to start a creative collective, something that a pool of creators can work on helping each other out and building something serious. Like I said, I want to build. I want to build a podcast scene that rivals Atlanta or New York, right? Maybe it's already here. I don't know. I still haven't found it yet. So that's my goal. Like, what's the number one podcast in the DMV? What are y'all listening to? I know I have some, and I have some podcasts listed on my site, but I don't look at them. I tried to look at them, but they just don't hit me. I don't know why it doesn't resonate with me, or why I haven't taken the time to actually look at it. But I'll get onto it one day, hopefully. So first, I want to build out my podcast, Transparent Conversations. Hopefully, build out another podcast. I definitely want to hopefully get a co-host for this podcast. I do have one guest lined up. I talked to the creator of the Facebook group Transparent Conversations, and she agreed to come on. That's going to be later because I really want to talk about that name, Transparent Conversations, and where the group came from. I think is important. It definitely came at an instrumental time in my life where we were just able to, open up and talk about anything and not worry about being shamed or, getting getting your yum yucked. So that'll be an interesting conversation, and she's an interesting person to talk to. I'm looking forward to that. I also just want to talk about like where like how y'all doing? How y'all doing with this cool every day? If you were to only look at like most black podcasts, not anything to do with political, just regular, every day like a Joe Budden podcast, Mario Moore, 85 South. would you think that we were in the middle of a coup? Would you think that we're like close to being under a fascist dictator? Do you think that do you think that if you just only fell in on that, only watch those things, and I know that we're saying that black people need to, I don't want to say how many more, need to, stay out of this, which I do agree with at this time because I think that since we're being attacked through DEI and all of our, our ancestors, all the contributions that were made by soldiers and everything like that is just being disregarded. I think that's a tragedy, and I think that shows us that they're looking to target us, right? So I know it was a big rally, in DC on April 5th downtown. I just hope it's peaceful. I don't think it's a time for any type of violence or showing out. I don't know if they're going to be. I've heard rumors like they're going to be in the crowd trying to stir things up and all that type of stuff. I urge you. I'm going to try to be down there. We'll see. It's after know a podcast on Friday night. Yeah, I want to try to be down there on the 5th just to see it. I have attended some other rallies downtown, but this is important. I think that we need to show the people that will destroy the country, and I think we're a little bit more sensitive to it, right? Because without the Constitution and the Bill of Rights, will we be free? Will we be free? It's gonna have to be, what I'm saying? Like it's that serious, and I just don't see the urgency in the black podcast, arena, the world. I don't see it anywhere, and I think it's a good thing. Everybody wants to be outside. It's getting to be spring. It's gonna be warm, and people want to be outside. But I don't think we're doing a service. I don't think we're doing a good service to our people. Not telling them that this is a dangerous time. You need to watch out. You know what I mean? Like, you could be snatched for no reason. You could be snatched in a mix-up. You don't have your license on you. It's a mix-up. You look like somebody. Next thing you know, you're in a prison in El Salvador. And if they they figure it out, they still might not go and get you. They might leave you down there. It's just a mess. It's a mess, and it's a scary time. I feel it every day. I guess because I'm in the middle of I'm doing a job search, so I'm at home. So basically, I'm doing interviews left and right. I'm busy with that. I'm busy with doing this podcast, but I still just pay attention to what's going on, and it's strange. Like when I get on the phone with it, and I'm having an interview, I'm doing an interview. A lot of times I'm talking to somebody from India. You know what I mean? Like I don't, and it's like everybody's acting like it's normal, and I don't know if I'm freaking out or I probably am freaking out a little bit, but you gotta trust the process. As many times as I've been through the horrors that I've been through with my addiction, I've always made it through. Thank God. I can't say I've always made it through and not lost things. I've lost a lot of things, but I've always made it through. So I guess we're just gonna be trusting that we're gonna make it through. So I'm gonna keep doing my podcast. I also want to talk about the numbering system. Last week I said I'm gonna change my day count because we count our days. I changed my day count to 1, the same as the episode, so I can keep track, or we can keep track together what day it is. But I think that I messed that up because next week will be on Friday. It'll be 7 days, and then it'll be the second episode. So what I think I'm gonna do a strange numbering system on my episodes. Like next week's gonna be 2.7. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna do it like that. Like I said, I do all this stuff to hold me accountable, and then to hold me accountable to myself that things I say I'm gonna do. I'm gonna be sitting right here talking about what I'm going through right now. So that's basically what I'm going through. Just trying to keep myself motivated, up for all these interviews I got scheduled. This is a weird time right now. Last year I had like 3 offers in a week, and now it's I kind of saw this coming. Basically, I had a contract end, and I saw this coming based on 47 getting elected, but I didn't see all the layoffs. So I didn't see that coming, and I thought I would have time to get my next situation set up before the situation ended, or it would definitely I get picked up very quick, like I always do or have been. But it didn't happen that way. So I'm just still trusting the process. You know what I'm saying? I had to be here. If I hadn't been here, I might have been someplace else I shouldn't have been. So I'm gonna trust the process, and this is something that sometimes for me, the best thing to do is to just stop, and figure it out. And I'm grateful that I can do that. Well, I can't say that I can't do that, but I'm grateful that I have people in my life that will support me through these times. But I'm definitely shit need to change. That's the obvious too. Shit need to change. And I just found out some bad news about another family member. I pray for them. I kind of knew it was coming, and that's the thing about us. We don't talk. We don't really talk about real shit. So you just hear about shit. You see, I think we all see it coming. Happening to us at different times, but we don't say anything. And I think that's a tragedy because sometimes you're gonna have to talk about things to get things out there, to really get to it. Like that 444 album was said you can't hear what's not revealed. I think I'm paraphrasing. That may have been exactly what it was, but I tagged that a lot in my videos because that's important. You know what I'm saying? Like if we don't talk about what's going on in your life, then you're not gonna fix it. And one of the best things that I've ever did in my second marriage is I opened it up. I just had that conversation. I said, "This is, this is." I mean, I started. Wait a minute. I started that conversation. I'm gonna talk about this later, but I don't want to go into any subject matter. But I'll talk about it later. But we definitely went into it eyes open, and that was actually like a really good thing to actually go into a marriage, with your eyes open. So I know the next episode on Friday, I'm gonna be talking about boundaries again. I'm gonna, flesh that out some more. I think it's important because I'm seeing how me not having good boundaries growing up. I didn't know what a boundary was. I don't even know. The only time I ever think I heard about boundaries is when I got into ethical non-monogamy. You know what I'm saying? I started reading different books. I read a lot of books on ethical non-monogamy and just learning about boundaries. I don't think, what I'm saying? Because I don't think we teach our kids about boundaries. We don't teach. Boundaries are the way I look at boundaries. Boundaries are how we teach. Boundaries are how we let people know how we want to be treated. And if you can't treat me that way, I'm going to remove myself from the situation because it's not healthy for me. Right? Instead, I think what we do is we try to stick it out and work things out when it can't be worked out. We just, what I'm saying? I know I definitely would do that. I know the commitment was more important than my feelings. Because I said I was going to be there for you. You know what I'm saying? And then I guess the guilt of, having someone go through with me with, my addiction problems and stuff like that, I would just stick and stay no matter what. And I'm like, if you're unhappy in a situation, you're not going to be happy. The situation can't make you happy, and the person can't make you happy. The happiness has to come from inside you. And then once you start communicating to that person, that you're feeling good and this is what you're going to need to remain good, they have a choice to make. And that is the part that I had to figure out a long time ago. No, I'm sorry. I should have figured out a long time ago, but I recently figured it out. So that's what we're going to talk about on Friday. I'm going to talk more about that. I want to talk more about that. I want to talk about more about what I want to do with this podcast. I definitely want to try to reach out and get an engineer / co-host. Anybody want to learn about podcasting? You want to just jump in here and do this? That could be done remotely. Yeah, sure could. Cause I could figure it out. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm trying to do. I like to figure things out, technology. So good problems are good problems to have. So we can work that out. But not now. I think I'm gonna wait on that. Like, you know what I'm saying? I probably I just see some on my screen. That's crazy. From 5/21/2019. Damn. I don't even want to talk about that. Anyway, so that was right before the pandemic. Anyway, right before I started working for Amazon, 2019. Yep, 521. Yeah, 521, 2019 up to December. Then I started working for Amazon or AWS in April of 2020. That's when I got working. Anyway, so that's what I'm doing. I'm letting my intentions, you know what I'm saying? I'm letting my intentions be known, what I'm doing, how I'm planning it out. I'm checking in because I need to. I'm recapping. I know I need to do to improve the show. I feel myself being more comfortable right now. So that's what I'm saying. The more more you do something, the more, you get more comfortable with it. And that's my plan. So that's going to be it. Like I said, Friday Night Live, we're going to be talking about some boundaries some more. I want to talk about some of the things I said last week about the relationship. I played the clip. I was wrong. I said that she never conveyed those boundaries to me, and she did, and I remember. And I'll talk about that more. It's important that you learn yourself and you learn your boundaries. There's a lot of people I know that are in relationships just because, and they have no boundaries, and they're miserable, and they don't know why. And I can tell you why, because you ain't supposed to be there. You know what I'm saying? Or if you're supposed to be there, you might supposed to be there, but you're not being honest about what you need in that situation, and you're not being honest to that person. You're not giving that person the chance to make a decision also about what they want to do. And that's one thing I learned that in my marriage when I opened it up, and then I learned that more when I start having like multiple relationships. The thing about, I'm saying this one when I'm gonna close this out. The thing about E&M, ethical non-monogamy, is that when you get into ethical non-monogamy and you get into the groups and you start going out hanging out with the community, you kind of narrow yourself to your options, and you kind of like only want to mess with or deal with people that are ethically non-monogamous. So you try to make things work, right? Don't do that. I might want to come on that subject right there. So we're gonna talk about boundaries and manipulation some more. I'm gonna tell you how I was wrong about about what I said, that Kimberly never communicated her boundaries to me. She did. I ignored them and I kept going. Remember I said we broke up many times, and it's basically was me saying I can't deal with these. I don't want to deal with this. I gotta go. I feel threatened, and damn. All right, so that's it. Thanks for tuning in, or thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next on Friday Night Live. We'll try to do something fun. Definitely looking for co-hosts and guests. If you want to come on, talk about anything that I'm talking about, ethical non-monogamy, addiction, relationships, all that kind of good stuff. Or just like the current situation that we're in. I'm never going to be on here and not mention that. You know what I'm saying? I'm on I'm on I don't watch mainstream media, but I basically watch independent media. I keep posting information. I hope people are turning off the mainstream media. We need to starve them out. Starve them. They're terrible. They don't give you the real situation. They're acting like this stuff is normal. This is not normal. Anything, you know what I mean? Like when that man issues a executive order, that's not a law. That's not a law. We follow laws. Our laws come from the Constitution. Executive orders, I don't even know what's going on with that. Executive orders are supposed to be towards his executive orders are supposed to be towards. I don't know, but I think they're supposed to be to the executive branch. You know what I'm saying? But he still has to follow laws. The executive order has to follow within the laws, and losing these court cases, that proves you that he's not following the law. So that's a gray area. All right, so that's it. I'm gonna see y'all out. I need to always say that one thing that I need to say to myself and to anybody else that's suffering with it. Change I must, or die I will. That's it in a nutshell. You know what I'm saying? So I'm out. Peace. See you on Friday Night Live. For the next episode, we'll be talking more about boundaries and the importance of boundaries. Peace and love. I think I have a way to go out though. I think it's this button.
All right, people, we out. Choose love every time, and things will work out. All right, peace. See you next week.
All right, announcer guy. Peace. See y'all next week. Love you all. All right. I need to stop. Okay.